actually see this. Allan Lichtman is very, very interesting. I mean, he lost the ball in this one, guys. He really just completely fumbled this election cycle. He's the professor with the 13 keys, and he just completely dropped the ball. He developed a 13 key system which allows him to predict true and false, questions based on the presidency to test the strength of the incumbent party. But unfortunately, it's just not working out for Allan at all. We're actually going to play this clip courtesy of the Patrick Bet-David podcast. We're going to go ahead and play this clip of Allan Lichtman. We're going to go ahead and take a little bit of a break and actually watch this.
Don't blame the voters. I think, look, we could get into this discussion, but one, I think you're blaming the voters. I think that's a terrible idea. And look, I debated Professor Lichtman before. I told him his theories about the keys were absurd. I was right. He was wrong. I said he'd lose his keys.
No, you were not right, and I was not wrong. And that's a cheap shot, and I won't stand for it.
Well, who won, brother?
You should not be taking cheap shots at me.
Who won?
You want to make your point,
live
make your
in
point.
a total
Don't make it
world
personal.
of denial.
I read your own followers' comments, and they all trashed you, every one of them, and supported me. So quiet with your personal attacks.
Come find out again.
Make whatever point you want. Don't make it personal.
You don't know anything. You don't know anything.
You attacked me personally.
You're so deluded.
I've only been a professor for 51 years.
On this program, I've never been able to finish a thought.
How many books have you published? No, because you're personally attacking me again. Say whatever you want, but I'm not going to stand for personal
brother, you got it wrong.
Say whatever you want.
You were preposterously and stupidly wrong. So, okay, all right. Can I just finish a goddamn thought ever on this show?
No, not if you're personally. I admitted I was wrong. I don't need you to call me stupid.
Okay.
I'll just say it's great to see you Democrats all getting along so well. I love that line. It's lovely to see a post-election harmony as you all come together again.
We're just one right now.
Hey, Allan, you deserve a tall glass of shut-up juice. So can you just shut up for a second and let someone who knows what they're doing
shut the hell up.
So make any point you want. So I will not sit here and stand for personal attacks, for blasphemy against me.
So, yeah, that's the clip of Allan Lichtman absolutely just getting destroyed by Cenk Uygar out of all people. Like, imagine, guys, Cenk Uygar is obviously a leftist podcaster. He's kind of been in the space for a lot longer than I have, but clearly has still got really delusional takes about Trump and a lot of these people. But besides the point, it's like, yeah, this guy was so arrogant about his pick to win the presidency, and now he's just completely lost it. I mean, he's completely in the gutter now. His whole reputation's ruined. If he decides to predict again, it's either going to be two things. A, he's going to just pick the Democrat, and everybody's going to be like, of course you're going to pick the Democrat. You're a Democrat. You're no longer an unbiased predictor. And then, obviously, if he picks a Republican, either A, it's going to be like an establishment Republican, or everybody's going to be like, oh, you're wrong. Like, no one's going to take him seriously. Like, both sides are not going to take him seriously. Yeah, I see Mr. Level said in the comments, he said he's a major crash shot. I wonder if he's talking about Cenk or Allan Lichtman. But yeah, no, it was absolutely nuts, completely crazy, absolutely insane, completely nuts. Allan Lichtman has just lost the plot. He's blocked me on X. He's literally blocked me, trying to be like, all these right-wing wannabe journalists and this and that. It's like, no, man. Like, no, you were wrong. You were wrong. Just admit it. You were wrong. And now he's going out there saying, the electorate's actually not pragmatic enough for my system anymore, which basically means he's saying that the electorate's too stupid. That's what he's saying. He's saying that the electorate, the voters, are too stupid to end up being useful for his system. So when he says, who taught you manners, or this and that, it's like, well, he clearly doesn't have any manners. And I actually just had a conversation with Mark Mitchell from Rasmussen Reports literally earlier today. You guys should actually go check that out. But we talked about this, and man, this guy just completely, like, it's true. He's given a bad name to academia. This is a professor from Harvard, guys. Just FYI. He's like disgrace. They've had a horrible year. we're obviously going to get to the whole biggest winners and losers of 2024. And we're going to be watching Patrick Bet-David's video about that. But I would say one of the biggest losers of 2024 is Harvard, because Donald Trump won. And so a lot of their people wanted Donald Trump to lose. Second of all, the president that was there had to resign due to anti-Semitic remarks or just anti-Semitic policies. And now they have this professor who's just like completely lost his mind, and it ruins everything about professional academia. The whole point of academia is being able to challenge the writing of other people. You literally you're taught in school, hey, if somebody wrote this, you can make a alternate hypothesis. Like, that's literally what they teach you in school. And this guy just completely threw this out the window. Completely. It's absolutely insane how rogue this guy has actually gotten. It's super duper nuts. Completely nuts. And now we even have people like this, and Seltzer. Like, what is this? They had, I'm not even kidding, guys, and Seltzer had Harris winning the state of Iowa by 3 points. How did that happen? How did this even happen? It's like, this was obviously not an accident. There's no way. Like, what was she polling? Virginia? New Mexico? Like, what was she polling? I really don't understand what she was polling. This is absolutely ridiculous, guys. Completely absurd, completely ridiculous. Now, we're going to be seeing this here. And this is something, again, like, obviously we're in the section of election forecasting. Look at Nate Silver. This guy, I picked Donald Trump to be the winner of the election, and I called it on October 19th. I called the election, completely called it, like, way before it even happened. At least 2.5 weeks before. And everybody was like, oh, you're being really bullish. Oh, you got to be careful. But by then, looking at the data, looking at all the accurate polling, seeing that he was ahead in the popular vote, all of the swing states, like, it's just a never-ending bad polling for Harris. And then look at this predicted electoral college probability. They're about tied. But you see, the popular vote favorability or probability for Harris was 76%. 76%. Predicted electoral vote average, about 271 to 267. And we see predicted popular vote share was Harris plus basically 2.1. It's Trump plus 1.6 now. So that's about a pretty bad miss. That's like a 4-point miss in the popular vote. And so in reality, this is a disaster performance. Disaster performance from Nate Silver. Complete, utter disaster from Nate's end. And he said it's a toss-up election. Oh, we actually really don't know who's going to win the election. And then look at the results. Trump won Arizona by 5.5. It's like, well, I had Trump winning Arizona by roughly 7, a little bit over 7. The pollster that was been really accurate in Arizona actually had it pretty high. He had it at like basically the exact same margin that I had it at. So he was actually not even that off again. But yet, no, it's an absolute disaster. If you're going to say that the election's a toss-up after having your graph gyrate over and over and over again in complete mood swings, it's like, Mark actually said this in the show earlier. He said that he actually jokes around about his graph, saying like, basically whoever's favored in the model is like which one of Nate's personalities is like in control. But it's absolutely true. Absolutely true. 100% true. And we see here, looking at this, like more mainstream media stuff, Laken Riley's killer never stood a chance. Like, what are you people talking about? This is somebody who killed a 14-year-old, 15-year-old girl, 16-year-old girl in like broad daylight for all the political controversy surrounding Jose Arvera, whatever his name is. The outcome of this trial was never in doubt. Well, obviously not. He killed somebody in the middle of the day. He literally killed somebody, and they're trying to be like, oh yeah, actually it was just he should have stood a chance in the trial, as if he needed one. He didn't need a chance. He killed somebody. He's an illegal alien. He broke the United States law coming into the country, and he shouldn't be allowed to come back ever, or he should just be arrested and kept here locked up in eternity. For all these elector bros, oh, Liz Cheney was going to help Kamala Harris. Just here, Liz Cheney campaigning for Kamala Harris actually hurt Harris in the final days of the election. Oh, gee, who could have guessed? Pennsylvania, 20% made less enthusiastic, 21% more. Michigan, 30% less enthusiastic, 23% more. And this is from Data for Progress, by the way, which is like a super liberal pollster, guys. Super duper liberal pollster saying this kind of stuff. And so, no, yeah, it's absolutely abysmal. All these people have not learned what's happening. And Mark Mitchell said, I wonder where Republican senators think this is going to go. Fox News Primetime doesn't drive the conservative narrative now. Twitter does. Defying Trump's mandate would be a mutually assured destruction. Is true. Richard Barris talked about this. A bunch of Republicans who were expecting to get Trump's votes to carry them over didn't happen. And a lot of them happened in California. Richard Barris says if Ron DeSantis was the nominee, Republicans would have lost. If Nikki Haley was the nominee, Republicans would have lost. Donald Trump won this election, not Republicans. And they've learned nothing. And it's true, they haven't learned anything. If you enjoyed this clip from the podcast, hit the like button and subscribe for more content just like this.